So when the Charlie Kirk thing happened, to tell you the honest truth, Jimmy, I didn't even think to look at flight radar.
Ah.
Right? I wasn't. It's like, wow, why would who the hell would do that? Well, some guy did, and the guy who did was a pilot. It turns out. But when I went to flight radar, it turns out his report was wrong. He got the altitude wrong. He was saying it was at 600 feet. It was at 200 feet. And I'm like, all right, obviously attention to detail is not this guy's strong suit. So let me get into this. Let me figure out what the hell's going on. And it turns out the Pentagon has this G6500. It's like a Gulfstream, but it's made by Bombardier. It starts out as a business jet, and then they turn it into basically a spy plane. And the label on the side says U.S. Army. We're told it's Pentagon, but it does very CIA-ish type of things. It does all this spooky type of spy stuff. And then they announced in January of last year that they're going to be doing a thing where they launch drones from this.
Yes.
All right. And so the Hades aircraft doesn't just have all the spooky stuff, but they have the ability to launch drones. All right. And you're like, okay. So the issue then is, all right, so this plane didn't just fly by UVU the day that Charlie Kirk was killed. It descended from 40,000 feet to 200 feet and slowed down to 115 knots.
Right before it would lose lift. That's how much it slowed down. And the theory is that's when they released those drones.
That would be the hypothesis. This plane took off from Fort Bliss, which is in El Paso.
Okay.
All right, so it takes off from Fort Bliss, but there's another plane at Fort Huachuca called SAM 702, which has got all these VIPs on it from the Pentagon / White House-ish area coming in from Virginia. They're at Fort Huachuca the day before this happens. Okay. This plane goes from Fort Bliss. It's flying at 40,000 feet, and it descends to 200 feet at Lake Utah, right next to Utah Valley University, 3 hours before Charlie's killed, 9:15 in the morning. But then 25 minutes after Charlie's killed, it returns. 40,000 feet, descends to 200, slows to 115 knots again, and then reascends to 40,000 feet. That's not very efficient from a jet fuel perspective.
Correct.
Right. So, were these guys going to Jack in the Box? I mean, what are you doing that you're descending from 40,000 to 200 feet and 115 knots twice in the same day, adjacent to where Charlie Kirk